pushing for, just take it slow. Okay, I feel your anxiety.
Now this rapper in particular is never really talked about because, well, he's never really broken out of the space that he's been in this whole time, and that might be his own choice. And thankfully, he's not one of these weird ass rappers that likes to put his hands on females or talk to underage girls. But the one thing that his name is sadly always attached to is hate. Besides his fans, I've rarely ever seen anything positive said about him, and as of recently, it's gotten even worse. If you don't know DC the Don by now, he's an underground rapper and has pretty much been in this space for almost a decade now. A lot of you obviously might know him because he played at Chino Hills with LaMelo Ball and his brothers, or if you're like me, you found out about DC the Don through DDG during his vlog era. Whenever he would pop up in a vlog, he was usually freestyling with DDG, and that's pretty much how I found out he made music. I always knew, but I never gave it a listen until a couple of years ago, and I actually fuck with his music. I won't say I'm like a diehard fan, but I got like a couple of songs of his in my playlist. DC the Don to me has never been a guy you genuinely even talk about because the nigga doesn't do anything. And I'm not saying that to be disrespectful in any type of way. It's just like, when have you ever seen DC the Don in any type of altercation? Well, before recently. Sometimes I literally forget the guy even exists because all he does is just drop music and go on tour. Now, me saying all of this, how does a guy that's never in trouble, has no type of allegations to his name, consistently drops music for his fans, but yet is pretty much one of the most hated rappers in the underground? It doesn't even remotely make sense when you think about it, but I'm gonna explain to you, at least in my opinion, why I think he gets so much hate now. Because like I said before, I've known about DC the Don for years, and he's been hated on ever since I've known him, but now it's like it's way deeper than music. And speaking of music, let's really talk about DC the Don's music because that's one of the many reasons why people hate on him so much. Listen, I've already said that I fuck with DC the Don's music. Like, I think it's cool, but I also understand if not everybody else feels the same way. Like, for the type of music that he makes, it's only gonna hit a selective amount of people's ears. Like, his sound is not for everybody, and that's completely fine. Like, you can say that about any other artist as well, but there's this one thing about DC the Don's music that's always stuck with me for some reason. I don't remember where I heard this from. It was either Twitter or a YouTuber, but he said that DC the Don's music sounds like it could be played on Disney Channel. And to be honest, that's like the most perfect example that you could use. Now, his music has most definitely evolved since then. Like, I just listened to Rebirth today and I thought it was actually pretty good. Like, it could potentially be one of his best albums ever. But there was most definitely a time during DC the Don's career where I was listening to a couple of his songs and I was just like, okay, I can see why people don't like his music. Don't get me wrong, the music wasn't bad. It's just like, when you're listening to it, it sounds a little corny. Like, I'm listening to the lyrics on a couple of these songs and I'm just like, dude, this is something like I feel like I would listen to when I was in high school. The music just sounded like it wasn't maturing at all. But granted, DC is 25 right now and he was making these songs at like what, 19, 20 years old? But I'm gonna give him a pass because I remember the 18 and 19 year olds of that era. Which brings me to my next point, and that is the type of music that DC makes. Now, DC has been making different types of music for years now, whether it's just plain old rapping or hopping on rage beats, but the ones that stick out the most in his catalog is the sad emo type of music that he makes. Now, you're probably wondering, why is that even an issue? Well, if you grew up in the era that I grew up in, then you pretty much know about the sad boy music era, the emo music era. Artists like Trippie Redd, X, Juice WRLD, Lil Peep, many more. We all grew up on these artists making these type of music for years. And to be completely honest with you, after these two niggas died, so did that type of music. Everyone pretty much left that type of music in the past. And I know that because Trippie Redd tried to bring back a Love Letter to Q5 and nobody was fucking with it. If I'm being honest with you, I think Trippie Redd was the only person from that era still trying to push that sound and nobody was budging. Mainly because we all grew up, like, nobody was trying to hear that shit anymore. We're adults now. And that's how I feel people was treating DC's music. They just hear the sad shit and was just like, this nigga's ass, like, let me not even listen to him. And like I said before, he may be making this type of music for a certain type of audience, which is why I never had a problem with it. It's just kind of fucked up when people only box you in this one type of category. And to come to DC's defense, this is a dude that's literally been dealing with a lot. I don't want to speak on that situation too much because it's a little too personal, but he did try to, you know, KYS. I dead ass just abbreviated that wrong, but you get what I meant. And a lot of people probably don't know this or forgot, but he's still dealing with the loss of his best friend, Sad Frosty, who was also another underground rapper, and these dudes was practically a dynamic duo. If you seen one of these dudes, you would see the other, and vice versa. These dudes were practically ever apart from each other. They were literally brothers. So this is probably one of the ways that he can grieve and express himself and possibly help somebody else that's going through the same thing. So I don't ever knock him for the type of music that he makes. But even with me saying all of this, to tell you the truth, DC is just not like other rappers. He's not a street nigga. He doesn't do any type of antics to gain clout. He hasn't really beefed with anyone. He is just sadly one of those rappers where it's just a trend to hate him, so people just follow suit. And a prime example of this is the altercation that went down between DC the Don and a fan a couple of weeks ago at his concert.
You know what? Watch your mouth, little bitch. Watch your motherfucking mouth, boy. You disrespectful. They gotta smack the shit out of you. What's up? What's up? You a bitch, man.
Now granted, DC shouldn't have just clocked the shit out of him over a couple of words, but this is also showing how comfortable people have gotten with disrespecting others. These type of dudes are so used to talking behind their phones at home all day that they've forgotten that in real life there are consequences to the shit that you say. Like bro, you're at his concert disrespecting him in front of his face. I don't know what else you expect to happen. I'm sorry, but I thought the nigga deserved it. Y'all niggas got too comfortable talking shit to niggas behind Twitter accounts. But the craziest thing about this whole situation is that everybody knew the dude was talking shit to DC the Don, yet they were still on this nigga's side because that's how much they hate DC the Don. I have literally read comments where they said they're taking the dude's side just because they don't like DC the Don's music. I'm telling y'all right now, this shit is just way deeper than music now. Like they legit hate this nigga and I don't know why. Bro is just an easy target to hate on. It's really unfortunate, but he can't really do anything about it. We can't really do anything about it. All we can do is just keep supporting him and streaming his music, because I'm gonna keep saying it, I fuck with DC a lot. I've known about him for at least a couple of years now, and it's just great to see where he started from and to where he is now. Even if I'm not regularly streaming his music, I can just confidently say that he's not a weird ass nigga. Like, he's a good dude. It's very unfortunate that he has to deal with weird ass Twitter trolls, but he's gonna be fine. Like, it is what it is. But that's all I got. Let me know how you feel in the comments. I don't know when I'm gonna make another video. This rap shit is so fucking boring right now. Like, I literally don't care about any of this shit that's going on right now. Maybe I'll talk about XXL when they drop something. But until then, I don't know. Hope for something.